Rerolling in ZenlessZoneZero can be confusing. Is it worth it? Who should I reroll for? All of these questions and more will be answered in today's video. Before we get into the video, the process of rerolling itself and how viable it is can change depending on a couple factors. For example, they just announced that you can now skip some more of the story if you choose, which will actually affect how long the process itself will take. But whether that actually affects whether or not it's worth it for you to reroll, we'll have to find out. If you're just coming from Wuthering Waves, you might be familiar with the fact that the process of rerolling in that game actually got way easier because of some compensation and some bugs that they had at launch. Now, to be clear, neither of the two things that I just mentioned really shouldn't have anything to do with or affect how rerolling formerly was, but since we know that these changes are possible or are coming, keep in mind that how long it takes to reroll will vary, and so I apologize in advance if some information is off or slightly skewed. However, let's move on to the actual process of rerolling. When you start ZenlessZoneZero, you're greeted by a decently long tutorial, and after progressing through the story, you'll spend anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes rushing through the story trying to get your reroll cleared. Then you inevitably unlock summoning and get to whether or not the account that you're rerolling for is worth it. Let's get to the first question though. Is it worth it to reroll? Here's what you need to consider. If you decide to reroll, you won't be able to connect your ZenlessZoneZero account to your Star Rail or Genshin accounts since you would be rerolling and have to make a new account each time. The rate of getting an S rank character is sub 1%. You get a couple of A rank characters regardless just for free whenever you end up playing the game, and you only start with roughly 20 to 22 pulls at the start of the game unless things change. You can, of course, get more by doing certain activities or by doing more events, but that will take even longer. Ultimately, though, is it worth it? Yes and no. The answer depends on so much of what you want to do. After making a number of reroll guides throughout my time covering gacha, there's really a couple conclusions that you can come to. Number one, you can do whatever you want because you're the one playing the game, and I'm not really sure why you're here watching this video. Number two, you save more currency, statistically speaking, no matter what, if you can find the perfect reroll of an account. And who cares how long it takes so long as you're saving premium currency. 3, no, it's not worth it to reroll because you get a guaranteed character at 50 anyways, and they're throwing a lot of pulls at you at the start or during 1.0 anyways, so don't waste your time. And 4, yes, it's worth it so I can get Grace, my love, my wife, my world, so stop telling me it's not worth it to reroll. Whichever route you end up choosing, there is actually something equally if not more important than whether or not you should reroll at all, and that's who or what you should be rerolling for. Right now, you could argue that the highest damage character in the game could be a great character to reroll for. But at the same time, you're going to have to consider that you are going to need several teams and certain characters end up being greater value depending on what DPS team you plan on running. For instance, for someone like Lycon, he may not have the highest damage himself, but if you are planning on pulling for Ellen, he is a must-have for this team. Ellen, Lycon, and Sokaku in the triple ice mono ice team composition is one of the strongest teams in the entire game at the start of launch for ZenlessZoneZero. Lycon's role in that team specifically is providing insane stun and daze potential. However, if you aren't pulling for Ellen, his value drops by a lot. Now, I've said a lot of things and you might be a little bit confused, so let me make things simple. If you want to pick your favorite character, ignore everything I'm about to say, but here's a rundown if you want to consider a couple of your options. If you want to play with electric units, take Grace. If you want to play with fire units, take Soldier 11. If you want to play a physical team, use Nekomata. And finally, if you want to play an ice-based team, if you like Ellen, or if you just want a super high damage team at launch, take Lycon so you can pair him with Ellen after you end up pulling for her. To be clear, what I just mentioned amongst all the characters here are the main damage dealers. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the A rank characters are given for free, or they will be much easier to obtain. So if you are trying to play a certain playstyle, or you are going to want to invest in a high damage dealer, look no further than the characters that I suggested. So that's the process of rerolling in ZenlessZoneZero. In general, taking the damage dealers right now is definitely fine because you are going to have to invest in damage dealers to clear a lot of the weekly or hard content, so don't feel bad if you want to play a certain element or if you want to play one of your waifus that does a lot of damage. Personally, I will not be rerolling, but that shouldn't and likely won't stop any of you guys from rerolling or choosing not to reroll, whichever you end up deciding. My goal is going to be to try and get Lycon because I absolutely adore Ellen, but if I don't end up getting him, it is what it is. I hope to see you all on ZenlessZoneZero's launch, and remember, please don't shoot me, I'm the messenger. Feel free to discuss rerolling and more in the comment section below though. As always, feel free to let me know what you think of the video, what you think of the game, what you think of this reroll video. But anyways, that's going to be it. I'll see you all next time. I'm probably going to be playing ZenlessZoneZero, so maybe I'll be a little fatigued. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Whoa, ZenlessZoneZero is out. Make sure to click on the next video. Maybe it'll be a video that you really enjoy. And hopefully by the time this video comes out, I will have another one for you to watch. Thanks again for watching. Click on the video. Pog. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. See ya.